It's an NPR, Your Honor.
Is it contested or not?
Well, we in agreement, we're ready to proceed on being true to the allegations, but we're not in agreement with the,
Outcome.
correct.
All right, court is calling 2022 CR 3263 State versus Samuel Ramirez. Can I have parties announce?
Rick Peña for the state of Texas.
Alfredo Ortiz for the defendant, Samuel Ramirez, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Ramirez? Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Samuel Ramirez who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 3263 for the offense of assault, family, household, impeding breath or circulation on November 7, 2022 for a period of 3 years? Is that you? You're gonna need to speak up. All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor, we're here this afternoon on the state's motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Sorry, maybe go off with this for 1 second.
Yes.
Joe, one.
Okay.
Yes, you may proceed.
Violation of condition number 4.
Just 1 second. Guys, we're on the record, so if you could not talk behind the court reporter because it makes it difficult for her to hear. All right, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Violation of condition number 4. In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Samuel Ramirez, then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of July, August, October, and November 2024, and violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True. We'll waive the remaining violation, Your Honor.
Any objection to the state's waiver?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in the prison and up to $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4? Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there proposed agreement? State, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, state's requesting 2 years imprisonment. This in TDC.
Your Honor, we're asking for the court to alter and amend the conditions of probation. Mr. Ramirez realized that he made a bad mistake of not showing up for probation. He had transportation problems, but he acknowledges that he should have gone to probation. When he was arrested on this case, Your Honor, the victim on the case is the complaining witness is his sister. He was living with his sister and his mom. After this incident, he moved out and went to live with his dad, which mom and dad are divorced. And that was kind of one of the problems that arose, Your Honor, which Mr. Ramirez has mental health issues. I believe that he was scheduled to have a MIC evaluation, which I don't think ever took place. The family confirms that there's serious mental health issues. Mr. Ramirez has problems holding a job. However, Mr. Ramirez, which he's in court here with Mrs. Ramirez, they're separated, they're divorced, but they're both here. He has
What is his relationship with Amanda Ramirez?
brother and sister,
Okay.
and she doesn't want him to go to prison. None of the parents want him to go.
So why is he not reporting? You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Samuel Ramirez.
Why are you not reporting?
I had communication unavailable.
I'm sorry, what?
I had communication unavailable.
What do you mean you had communication unavailable?
Just cellular communication unavailable.
I'm sorry, what?
Cellular communication unavailable.
What do you mean? You did not have a cell phone? So why didn't you report to probation and let them know? You could have got on the bus and went to probation. No, I'm trying to figure out why I shouldn't revoke you. What have you done since you've been on probation?
It's in,
No, have you done anything? Let's start with this. All right, we know you didn't report because you said you did. Have you had employment?
no, but I've been searching.
I'm sorry, what?
No, but I've been searching for employment.
All right, so that's been since 2022. So you haven't had employment since 2022 and you've been searching for employment? All right. Did you do any of your community service hours?
Yes, ma'am.
So you've done some community service hours, or you go somewhere and you work for free. You've done that?
I believe it was paid off.
All right. Did you pay that because you didn't have employment? Who paid that for you?
Off.
All right. So did you complete the hostility and aggression course? Did you abide by field visits?
No, in person. Oh,
So-
is it include visits?
Field visits,
Yeah.
that's where people come out to your house. No, I mean, did probation come out to your house and visit you? All right. So, I mean, he hasn't done anything since 2022 and it's 2025.
And I think it goes back to the mental health issues, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, how can anybody help him if he doesn't show up to be helped?
Yes, well, Your Honor, additionally, at the beginning of this month, we took 2 new charges there at large and unindicted cases for assault, choking seconds, and aggravated assault with deadly weapon.
The complainant, the alleged victim on that incident, Your Honor, is Mr. Ramirez. He decided he doesn't want to file any charges against his own son. He doesn't want him to go to prison either.
Well,
He's in court here also this morning. He's been here this morning, all morning.
all right, I'll hear from his father, but my problem is he hasn't done anything. Nobody can help somebody if they won't even do the minimum, and the minimum is showing up, and he hasn't done anything on probation. And maybe part of the problem is the family, instead of having him do his community service hours, they're paying for it. I mean, if you want to call him as a witness, I'll keep an open mind and listen to him.
I'm not trying to say defense is not being truthful, but we can't verify as well ourselves on our end who the victims of those cases are, because their cases being so new, they're not.
Oh, no, that's fine. I just want to, if he wants to come and testify,
I'll call Mr. Ramirez to the,
all right. Hello. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. I'm a little hard of hearing also.
Okay, no problem. You can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Efren Ramirez.
All right, what do you want to tell me about your son?
He's been a good son until a couple of years ago when he started changing, isolating himself, not talking to friends, not talking to family, not going out, not communicating. I miss my son, but he used to be. And he's not there. So we're seeking for help, you know.
Let me ask you this. Has he always looked like this?
No,
I mean, buffed up and everything?
his smile is gone.
No. I mean, his body type. Has his body type always been like that?
He's been exercising since he was pretty young.
No. But the body that I'm seeing right now, is that the way his body has always been of late? When did his body start being that way where he's super muscular? And let me just tell you where I'm going with this. Let me tell you where I'm going with this. Has he been using steroids?
Not to my knowledge, and I always asked him. He wasn't this big. When he was exercising, he was very lean and muscular. But in the last 6 months or so, he stopped exercising and just eating and not doing anything.
So he hasn't been exercising and he's still built that way
Yeah, he's been
in
eating.
6 months.
He's been eating a lot.
Well, I mean, if he shouldn't be that muscular then.
Again, I work and we have weights at home. And for me to find out if he was doing exercise,
Miss, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to have a seat. Yeah.
I know that he loves exercising and he loves eating. But as far as steroids or any other kind of muscle enhancement, I don't know. I don't think so.
All right, just one moment. Deputy Laura? Can scroll up on that. All right, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So to my knowledge, he hasn't been using anything. He's just big. He's been big.
Okay. All right, any other questions?
Have you tried to attempt to get help, medical treatment for your son?
Yes, I need to go to a health facility and I talked to the director and the director was willing to help. But unfortunately, it wasn't possible for us to make him come to this facility. And the director said that the only way that she would be able to help is, again, if he was back in here or back in jail, then she will come and request to give him some sort of help.
And when the state says that he had an altercation on May the 3rd, are you the person that involved in that altercation?
And the last altercation,
Yes.
yes,
And that was with your son.
yes.
Do you want him to go to prison?
I don't want him to go to prison. I want him to get the help needed.
And if the judge decides to give him one more chance and place him back on probation, are you willing to ready to help your son some way?
Always,
And you own a business, correct?
I do.
And you at one point your son worked for you?
Not only work, but I train him to do what I do for a living.
And is that something that you will consider also if the judge puts him back on probation?
Yes, I would.
I'll pass the witness.
Any questions?
Yes. I'm sorry, so I didn't catch your first name?
My name,
Yes,
Efren.
Efren. I'll just call you Mr. Ramirez. Is that
I
okay?
can.
I'll just call you Mr. Ramirez. Is that
Yes,
okay?
that's fine.
Okay, well, Mr. Ramirez, has your son ever assaulted your daughter before?
That was the first time that I know of.
Okay. And has he ever been violent or assaulted with you?
I was a little confrontational, I guess, but never physical.
Never physical. So has he ever attacked you with weapons?
No,
Has he ever tried to choke you?
no.
Okay.
I mean, not really. I mean, no, but I know, but I can recall.
Okay, so the incident that you were trying to describe earlier, that happened at the beginning of the month. Can you describe that a little bit more? What happened that day?
He had one episode where I guess he wasn't able to control himself because I brought a friend home,
Okay.
and he wasn't happy about that. And
So what did he do then? So what did he do then if he wasn't happy about that?
I'm sorry.
What did he do then if he wasn't happy about that?
He threw some furniture on the floor, and I just told him that what the issue was, and he wasn't communicating with me, so I don't know what was going on with him.
Okay, so what happened after he threw the furniture?
He threw me on the floor, and I told him that if that was a way for him to release that anger, I didn't care, that he will always be my son and I'll always love him.
I understand. But you said he threw you on the floor?
Yeah.
How did he throw you on the floor?
I'm sorry?
How did he go about throwing you on the floor?
Well, I can't recall exactly, but
Well, let me help you out here. Did he grab you
yes,
with both hands?
I can't recall, but I know that I was on the floor.
Okay, so he grabbed you and somehow you ended up on the floor.
Right.
Okay. What happened after he threw you to the floor?
He punched me.
How many times did he punch you?
I cannot recall.
Where did he punch you?
In the face.
How many times? Oh, was it open hand or closed fist?
Again, I cannot recall.
Okay. Did he do anything else after that?
Roll around, and I started defending myself.
Okay, so you wrestled for a little bit?
Yes,
Okay. And what did you do to defend yourself?
just tried to push him away from me.
Were you able to do so?
Yes.
Okay, and what happened after you pushed him away from you?
He just got up and left, and I was left there.
Okay, you left what, the home?
Yes.
And what's the address of that home? Your address.
My address,
With your wife?
again, only raising his voice, or just, being tough, but nothing like that.
So he's been tough to your wife?
Just trying to control
Objection, Your
her,
Honor.
but
He has
never
no
physical.
personal, objection, Your Honor. He has no personal knowledge about what's happened to the
Harassment about
wife.
his own-
They don't
Well-
live together.
Well, the foundation has to be laid if he has seen anything.
Seen any time?
No,
Okay,
I haven't.
all right. You testified earlier that if the judge granted him probation, again, gave him a second chance, you'll try and give him the help that he needs.
Yes,
But why couldn't that help be given to him before?
because he wasn't willing to get the help. So I do want some sort of a plan or a recommendation to get him the help he needs.
And you think he'd be willing to do that now?
I cannot tell you, I cannot tell the future. I want him to,
You're wanting him to, but you don't know if he wants to, is what you're saying.
that's what I'm hoping for.
Okay. I have no further questions. I'll pass the witness.
Any questions?
No further questions for this witness, Your Honor, but I do want to, call Mrs. Ramirez to,
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for coming in and giving me some insight into your son. Thank you.
Mr. Ramirez.
All right. You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
All right. You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Lisette Ramirez.
All right. You may proceed. Yes.
If it helps her, she can put her bag on.
Yes.
Wants to.
Thank you. Thank you, Rick.
You're welcome.
All right. You'll need to keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear and so that I can hear.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What do you want to tell me about your son?
My son is a wonderful son. My son changed after my divorce. Unfortunately, I am responsible to see my son go down this way.
So what is his issue?
My son.
How old is he?
angry. My son is just turned 29 and here last week. I truly believe that I have a great son and he needs to let that anger go. And he can be productive in this life and be useful to people like I am. I take care of elderly people every day. I love people. And I know my children, I have two other daughters, and they are professionals, RN, and one in finances. So my son always wanted to be a good sportsman. That's why you see them build up this way. He was about, I think it's been like about 6 to 7 years when he worked on his own, no drugs, no nothing, just eating right on. He never liked fast food. He was always cooking and doing the best he could at home. Between siblings, they have always fights. Of course, he is a big guy. But in his mind, he's always had a future for him.
Okay, but you understand, yes, siblings fight, but you understand he's on deferred adjudication for choking his sibling, choking his sister.
I understand that.
So how old are his sisters?
Amanda is now 23
Mhm.
and Dana is 27.
All right, so he's 29 years old. It is not as though he is a 12-year-old or a person in high school who doesn't understand that his parents, their marriage didn't work out, they got a divorce. So I'm trying to figure out why this 29-year-old person who's standing before me, and he's been on probation since 2022, so that'll put him at 27 or maybe 26. Why is it a 26-year-old cannot report to probation, cannot do his community service hours? And he told me he didn't do his community service hours. His father paid it off for him at $7.25 per hour. So he hasn't done anything on probation. The only thing he has done, based upon the testimony that I've heard, is perhaps, and I'm not taking it as 100% true, but perhaps pick up new charges. That's all he's done. And they're violent charges. And the violence he has is against people who he claims that he loves. I'm assuming he loves them. So I don't understand. He's not doing what he's supposed to do. And the fact that you are divorced, and maybe he took divorce hard, he's 29 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I mean, I'm trying to figure out why this is happening.
So I want to give you an example. Lately, he was living with his dad, but when he was living in my house, I gave him a present for Christmas. It was a nice scarf and a picture of him and I together on the good times. And when I entered his room, my son switched the picture, and it was the family together. When he was younger, we were at the Dodgers Stadium because we live in California. So I knew that my son, who is hurting, is still hurting, has that anger that we're not together as a family. His sisters move up and he stayed behind. I guess we weren't enough supported to my son when he needed it the most. My son is depressed. He doesn't get out like any 20-year-old. Everybody wants to go out party, not my son. My son is in a dark room or either on his phone, watching TV. Nothing motivates my son. This is not normal. I truly believe there is something that my son needs that needs to be balanced in life. And I'm sure there is something out there. I am praying to God that there is, because my son does not believe in jail. I am asking for help. I'm devoted to take care of people. So I'm not expecting, but I'm hoping that my son gets to be somebody. I've been contacting people about, Dianetics, to see what can benefit my son, reading a book that can lift my son so that he can be somebody, improve the world, that he can be whatever he wants to be in this world.
Are you willing to accept your son into your house?
I love my son, and I cannot see my son on the street begging for money when he has a home, when he has parents that can fight for him.
All right, so let me just stop everybody right here. If I even continue him on probation, let me just tell you what, he's not going to be living with you. He's not going to be living with your husband, because that hasn't worked out. And everybody, what it appears to the court is you, your husband, are treating him like the little boy in the photo that you're bringing up. That's a 29-year-old grown man who has not done anything. He got his father paying his community service hours off for him instead of him paying it. So he hasn't done anything. So if I were to continue him, and I'm not saying, because I haven't made a decision yet, the whole thing with him living with you and living with his father or living with his sisters, that's off the table. That won't be happening. Because he needs to get a job. He needs to take responsibility for his own action, and 0 people can help him if he don't pick up the phone. He hasn't called probation in 2 years.
I understood that his father took him several times to the appointments. I don't know that his father had a complete view of when the appointments.
No, but see, here's the thing. That's the thing. You and his father are acting like you all are on probation. You're not. It is not his father's job to see that he gets to the probation office. He's 29 years old. And let's say when he started on probation, he was 27 or 26. It's not like he's 18. And when you come to this court and you're 18, you're an adult, but I understand, it's an 18-year-old. Maybe their brains are not fully developed about the consequences of their choices. He knows the consequences of his choices, and you all are still acting as though I should have done this for him. I should have done. At some point, guess what? It is no longer your fault. At some point, these are choices that he's making. Is he going to be 55 years old and you all are coming up in here 90 or however old you're going to be saying, you know what? He's still, it's the breakup that we had. He still can't handle it. At some point, his choices are his own. It's not anybody else's choices. It's not his dad's choice. It's not your choice. And what I can tell you is, if I were to continue him on probation, he's not living with you. He's not living with his father. He's a grown man. Y'all may continue. So I just wanted to cut you all off from that train of thought that he's going to be going back living with his parents, because that's going to be a big no. So you may continue.
I just wanted to tell you that my son, at one point, he was on an anxiety pill. That was when he was in his teens. Of course, as he grew older, he didn't take the pill anymore. I do have, unfortunately, I have in my family depression, and I have schizophrenia, and I have epilepsy. So I know there's somewhere in the line some imbalance for my son to be acting this way. It's not just we're making it up or we're trying to cover up my son.
All
I
right.
just wanted to bring it to your attention.
No, I appreciate your insight. State, any questions?
Mrs. Ramirez?
Yes.
Just a few questions for you, if you don't mind. You mentioned earlier that you believe this all began when you had a divorce. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you remember what year it was you got divorced?
I got divorced, I believe, in 2011.
2011.
Yeah.
Okay. So you feel he's been acting this way since 2011?
It's slowly but surely it has, I think, it slowly but surely got up there.
Okay. When did you notice it started to increase?
I started to notice when my son came back to San Antonio, because he had left after college to Oklahoma and came back.
Did he come back? Do you remember the year?
I can't remember the year.
That's fine. You mentioned earlier that you feel that he's depressed.
Yes.
When did you first notice that?
I noticed when, like I said, he came back from Oklahoma, he got a job, and then he had a very nice car, and he had an awful accident. Well, my son fainted over here by the airport, and his car got totaled. And
Do you think the accident had something to do with his mental state as well?
Could have been.
Okay. Did you ever try and get your son help?
Well, he went to a cardiologist, and they checked him up really quick, but was nothing like really
Well,
mental.
I was about to say, I should have probably asked it a better way. Did you ever try and get your son help for his mental health issue in the past?
Well, by that time, my son was already growing. I couldn't take him by the hand.
Did you
That's the
suggest
issue
anything?
we're having.
All right. But did you ever suggest to him that maybe he could use some mental health help?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Has he ever formally been diagnosed with depression by a doctor or anything
No.
like that?
No.
Okay. Has he ever been aggressive with you in any way, physically?
No.
Okay. I'll pass the question.
Well, I got just one question. Has he ever been aggressive with other people in the community?
No neighbors, no nothing. Not even the policeman when he came to pick him up. Nothing.
No further questions.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in
Thank
and talking
you.
with me. All right. Any other questions?
Nothing from the staff.
All right. All right. You're asking that he be continued and state, what are you requesting?
Based on the new charges, based upon history you just heard, this case, we're asking for 2 years prison.
All right. And probation, what is probation's recommendation?
Judge, the recommendation on the court summary is for revocation.
All right. The court is going to find you guilty, revoke. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Amanda Ramirez, Therapeutic Community, $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. 2 years in the prison, and the court will give you credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? All right. You have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you are on deferred adjudication. Because this is a felony conviction and affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. The state asked for 2 years. I would have given you 8 because you have done absolutely nothing on probation. You're 29 years old. It's not your parents' fault. It's nobody's fault but your own. At some point in time, if you had a difficult childhood, it's like how many more years or how old must you be till it gets to the point where these are your choices? They're not your parents. You're 29. Your parents are divorced. Guess what? They're not getting back together. This is not like a Disney movie where something went weird and the parents are going to come together and decide they love each other. Not going to happen. They're not getting back together. You're going to have to accept that and move on. Do you understand? All right. Good luck to you. Thank you.
Yes.